broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us for today's only webinar and this week's final webinar. We're about to launch into the final week of WBEC's pre-summit sessions 2013. The feedback has been pretty rock and roll up until now. Thank you so much for all of you who have jumped onto the Facebook wall and posted your comments and questions, and the community we're building there is becoming quite the hub. So thank you for that. Please do continue to take yourself over to that page. The website is facebook.com//WBECS. Now, I don't want to waste any more time other than to very quickly ask, can I ask you to raise your hands in the air just to let me know that you can hear me loud and clear? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate that. Kate, I'm just going to put your hands back down now. Brilliant. So today we have a very special guest, someone who I have been a client of myself. I've gone through Brendan's program myself, found it to be exceptional high quality. As you all know, throughout the year, I introduce my network of coaches and refer them through to normally 3 or 4 programs. They're always programs that we vetted ourselves, programs that I just got immense value for myself. I'm really, really strict about it. I could probably market 12 and make 3 times as much money as I do each year in referral commissions and in that sense, but I just don't, because I want to make sure that everything I always refer is highest quality. And Brendan's program is absolutely rockstar. So what I would like to do is introduce you to him today. Brendan has been just leapt onto the scene so quickly. It was very exciting to see how Brendan's come from in such a short time to being an absolute world leader in what he does. He's a New York Times best-selling author of The Millionaire Messenger and The Charge, activating the 10 human drives that make you feel alive. He's also the founder of the High Performance Academy, the legendary personal development program for achievers and experts academy. It's a program I took, the world's most comprehensive marketing training for aspiring authors, speakers, and coaches, as well as online thought leaders. For these works, Brendan is regularly recognized as one of the top business and motivational trainers in the world by Inc. magazine, AndersonCooper.com, ABC, and more. The list goes on. Brendan's books, videos, newsletters, products, and appearances now inspire 2 million people a month worldwide. His books have been #1 bestsellers on the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, USA Today, and Amazon.com bestseller lists. Brendan was actually blessed to receive life's golden ticket, a second chance, after surviving a car accident in a developing country. Since then, he has dedicated his life to helping individuals, teams, and organizations to find their charge, share their voice, and make a greater difference in the world. So it's my great pleasure to hand over to my good friend, Brendan Bouchard. Over to you, Brendan.
Man, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the awesome introduction, too.
You're welcome, my friend.
Cool. Well, do you just want me to rock and roll right now? I mean, I'm really excited to be here with everybody. I see everybody on the line right now, and I think it's really incredible what you've been putting together here, Ben.
Thank you so much. This means a lot.
So my presentation today is all about 7-figure online marketing for coaches. And it's a different approach to figuring out how do you monetize and get your message out there for what you're able to do. Because obviously coaching is so lucrative, and that's why we're all here, and it's really powerful. But a lot of people want to hear from you in different ways. And there's also a lot of different ways that you can be earning revenue and income as a coach that doesn't rely on one-to-one coaching or even group coaching, that you can be doing something to bring more attention and more revenue into your business is something I think everybody's got to pay attention to, especially in this last couple of years of economy, so that your business model is well-rounded out. And to do that, you've got to figure out that online marketing component for what you're doing. Because I like to say all the time that, you know, there's literally millions of dollars in coaching and training that you can make your difference, but you can also make a fortune sharing who you are and what you know with the world. And I'm not the, get rich quick guy. I'm just about results. And most coaches never see themselves becoming millionaires because they're stuck in one modality of how they believe they have to serve or what they believe that they are good at. And I guess my job here today is to show you a model and a different approach that will allow you to reach more people with your expertise and your experience. And in reaching more people, obviously grow your business along the way. I think the big difference that made sort of switched my business into high growth mode was this commitment to a different kind of mission. That I really believe that I was here to inspire and instruct others on how to improve their lives and achieve their goals. We call it the Experts Mission at Experts Academy because it's about two things: inspiring the world and instructing the world. And as much as we're coaching individuals one-on-one, and some of that coaching ends up being instruction by helping them guide themselves to find their own answer, and serving as that guide and that coach to help them find their own answer. That's still in some way instructions, but the inspiration that you have within you from your knowledge, your skill, your abilities, your experience, your expertise, that's something the world wants to hear from. And for me, when I really got attached to a mission for that, it became something different because I don't know if many of you know my full story. I mean, as Ben said, I've been very blessed to kind of come out of nowhere. A lot of people think, but what they don't see is the behind the scenes story. I mean, every person who says you come out of nowhere, they usually don't see your last 10, 20 years of effort. And my effort really began in the industry with this picture, honestly, where I was writing my first book, Life's Golden Ticket. And I'd started, I'd left grad school. I worked for a major consulting company called Accenture. I worked there for 7 years, very, very, very happy. I enjoyed the experience. But I want to go and do my own coaching and my own training and my own seminars and my own books. But I didn't know how. There wasn't an Experts Academy back then. There was no formal type of a program that you went to in colleges for this type of work. It was just, there was a bunch of gurus you'd follow over there, or an online marketer over here, or somebody over there. And there was no real sort of structure of best practices about how to do all this for authors, speakers, coaches, seminar leaders, online marketers. So I'm trying to get my message out there. And this picture is, at that point, I've gone broke. I left my corporate job, started my coaching and training business, had no idea what I was doing, promptly went broke, had to move in with my then girlfriend in San Francisco. And many of you know, man, when you're broke and in San Francisco, you're really broke because, it's like $8 a burrito there. But what ended up happening was this night of this photo, the apartment was so small that the bed became my desk. I had that little tiny fold-out table, but the bed was basically my desk. So all my invoices and my bills and my journals and my notes ended up going on the bed. And one night, my lady came in and she crawled under the covers trying not to disturb me and disturb all the things on the bed. And I looked over and I saw my lady sleeping under the weight of my own bills, literally. And it got me. And I had been struggling to get my message out there, but I realized that at that point, if I don't earn an income doing this, then I'm not going to make it. And at some point, I think in our lives, we have to find something worth fighting for. And at that moment, it became for me, because I never had any money growing up. I grew up fairly disadvantaged, as they say today. That I never had any money. I didn't think about money. I was just trying to coach and help people. I didn't think about it. But that moment, I realized, I can't have my lady sleeping under the weight of my bills. I need to turn this around because, only two things change your life. Either something new comes into your life, and that thing changes your life because it's, a new strategy, a new person, new opportunity, the lottery, whatever it is, that switches your life just because it came into your life. It changes your path. Or something new comes from within you. And I knew something new had to come from within me if I was really going to shift and change and make it in this industry. So I started getting really interested in saying, well, how is it people are monetizing who they are and what they know? Because clearly they're doing it. I had to get over my own stuff because I was a kid from a small town, and I had to remove the roadblock to service, which is never undervalue who you are and what you know, and never underestimate what you are capable of. people who don't succeed in life do look at life differently than those who succeed. Those who don't succeed often look at something and they say, well, sure, she can do it. Or sure, I can't do it because I don't have that thing, or I don't know that thing that they know. Well, successful people say, well, I don't know it, so my job is not to stop. If I don't know it, my job is to start and learn it. I don't have that. I don't have a list. I don't have a website. I don't have that, so I can't succeed. No, I don't have it, so my job is to go build it. And the essence of success came to me was realizing that even if I looked at someone and I said, well, I can't do it like them, I could say, well, you know what? Maybe I don't have their style, but I could leverage their strategies. The same strategies that makes one person successful, might not be able to copy that person's personality or their trait or their style, but you can copy the strategies that are making them successful. And that was where my breakthrough came in what we're talking about today. I looked at the #1 highest earning coaches, trainers, authors, speakers, seminar leaders, and online marketers and online thought leaders in the world, and I asked, what are they doing to share their message and to monetize who they are and what they know? And here's what I discovered. They all had some type of mix of these 14 items you see on this page here. They had back-end products and programs from what they knew, and they had these products and programs to sell. They had PDFs that people could download for money. They had books. They had teleseminar programs. They had audio programs like 6-disc audio programs or 30-disc audio programs. They were doing webinars and webcasts they were charging for. They had continuity and subscriptions. They had speeches. They had seminars. They had online DVDs. They had consulting or life coaching. They had certifications. They had masterminds. They had mobile or app or digital products out there. And if you look at this and you go, yeah, Brendan, I've heard it before, then look, I'm not interested if you've heard it before, because sometimes common sense is not common practice. What I'm interested in is how many of these products and programs do you have out there right now that are being sold online on a recurring basis that is set up automatically that you don't have to do anything? That's the breakthrough to get to 7 figures. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think they got to hire more people, they got to spend more money. And the reality is actually, no, what you have to do is get more people to know who and what you are, and more people to buy these products and programs. Now, and have it happen automatically online. Now, here's something you should know. If you look at all these and say, well, I'm just a coach, Brendan. I don't need to do all those other things. I just have my coaching service. Look at all these things on this product page. Now, you don't have to do all of these, by the way. You could do 1 or 2 of them very well. But each of these, consider these your sort of robots or disciples out there in the market space. When you have these out there, and many of you, you don't have to do these where you charge money for them. You might even do some of these for free, though I, at Experts Academy, always recommend charging for them. Charge your expertise and your knowledge is valuable, charge for it, and charge more than you think you should. Well, right here in this area, if you had these up and running online, well then, gosh, you could go to bed at night and not worry if tomorrow you're going to get paid. It's about figuring out how do you create your content and put it into products and programs, because those products and programs continue to share your message. Right now, we're on a webinar, right now. But let me tell you that something is happening. That all around the world, tens of thousands of people are going through our courses right now. Tens of thousands of people are listening to their audio programs or downloading our videos or reading our ebooks. And guess what happens with those tens of thousands of people? You know what they ask? They say, Brendan, I love this program of you. Do you have anything else? Do you have any other products or programs that I can go deeper in and learn from? And that's when I introduce my coaching. Make sense? That your coaching only amplifies by you having products and programs out there, because people love the products and programs and they say, what else do you got? Or they call and say, hey, I'd like to work with you. And once they do that, that's the breakthrough. Once I had just a few of these products and programs up running online and people were constantly buying and downloading them and giving us money for them, that took us to the next level. And of course, it took my coaching to the next level. It took my books to the next level. You know, from a first release of a book I had no idea what I was doing back in 2001, to in 2007 have a #1 bestseller, to 2011 when we released The Millionaire Messenger. That went #1 on New York Times, #1 USA Today, #1 Amazon, #1 Barnes & Noble. And many of you saw when we launched 2012, Wall Street Journal #1 Barnes & Noble, #2 New York Times, with The Charge, activating the 10 human drives that make you feel alive. And a lot of people say, well, Brendan, you can do all this stuff because, you teach people about marketing and business and making money. Well, I don't teach people that. I teach people spirituality, or I teach people personal development. Well, if you actually look at what I do in most of our business, it's from personal development, straight up personal, professional development. Millionaire Messenger and Experts Academy are the only programs that we focus on that teaches the marketing and the money side. So if you say, well, you could do that with Millionaire Messenger because that was business oriented, that was money oriented. Well, The Charge is, the best-selling self-help book of all of 2012. And it was #1. And the reason it was #1 is simply because we have so many people. We have an army of students out there from our other products and programs who, when we roll out a book, they get excited about it. It's not that we don't do intelligent marketing for it too, but the reality is it's different because we're focused on what we're doing. And I think that needs to make sense for people. It needs to make sense that people understand how all of this works. I apologize, I have a phone reading in the background there. Oh, can you still hear me okay, Ben?
Yes, I can
Great.
still hear you fine.
So check this out. We went from those products and programs and learning how to do that. And suddenly, everything changed. And everyone said, you came out of nowhere. Well, in April 2010, that's when most people think we came out of nowhere. That's when we did our first online product launch with several of our products. And that did $1.8 million in 6 days. And it was pretty fast. It was obviously pretty quick. And people started saying, well, that's amazing. But they didn't understand what I was doing. And I just share all these results to say something very simple. Not to say, oh, look at what we've done in the millions of dollar range, but rather to say this. There's a consistency here. And the consistency comes from one thing: leveraging best practices in sharing my message. Everybody who's listening right now, you have best practices, but you have best practices in how you coach. Well, I have best practices in how to market online. And they're very simple. Some of them are very straightforward, but it's a different approach in how you've probably been doing your own marketing, which is probably one of the challenges in your personal growth and your business growth. And I'm from Montana, so we could talk about technically all these numbers all day, but let me just tell you a story about how this business really works, especially in marketing. I'm from Montana, so let me tell a story about nature. In nature, there are bees and there are flowers, and they like each other. Bees need the nectar from flowers for honey, and flowers need the bees to pollinate them so that they can grow. In the nature of business, we are bees. We go from flower to flower trying to get what we need. We buzz around with great excitement, expending lots of energy and making lots of noise. Buzz, buzz, we go. But there are only so many flowers, and buzzing bees can only go so far. The bees try hard anyway because they are bees. They go as far as they can and still frequent their favorite flowers often. Sometimes there are other bees to compete with. They zip and they zap around them trying to get the same flowers. Buzz, buzz. Soon, though, bees get very tired, always buzzing around looking for new flowers. The zipping and the zapping, too, is wearing on their wings. There are just so many other bees and only so much nectar to go around. Soon, all the buzzing doesn't sound so exciting anymore. And many of you know this is about the second year in your coaching business. You're buzzing around, trying to create all the buzz for your services as a coach. But there's all these other coaches you're competing with. But you're just trying to get the message out there because you don't know exactly how to do it. So you're just buzzing around, trying to get the same customers as everybody else, trying to build your business. And at some point, it's exhausting. It becomes wearing on your life because you're just trying to buzz from one client to another client to another client to another client. And suddenly, your life is wrecked. You're exhausted about it. And many of you know that that's only scalable to a certain level when you're coaching just one person. Well, in nature, something else is happening too. In all the buzzing, the flower stays put and laughs at those busy bees. The flower is smart. It makes such good nectar that it draws the bees in and doesn't have to go anywhere. The flower stays grounded and uses all its resources to keep producing newer, sweeter nectars. The bees can't resist and they come in swarms. The flower gets pollinated and grows entire fields. The flower smiles and thinks, what can I create to bring more bees to me? Philosophically, everything I do in marketing is from the position of flower. How can I create such good content, products and programs out there, have them up running online so that more bees, more people come to me to learn and grow, where I don't have to do as much of the marketing, but rather they're just being fulfilled by what I'm seeing, and they swarm, they buzz, they tell everybody about it, and all of a sudden our products and our programs grow. That's how we went from 6 figures to 7 figures to 8 figures per year today. That happens because I'm focused on creating resources, things that will draw people into us, and that's the philosophy of doing all this. So you say, yeah, great, Brendan. So what do I create and where does all that money come from? Well, this is what you create and this is where all that money came from. These back-end products and programs that teach your knowledge and your expertise. Some of them you might offer for free. Some of them you offer for pay. But look, if you know anything about my work, I think I've gotten the success we've had because I always believe that experts are students first. You know, I'm out there. If you think you go to a lot of seminars, you should see how many we go to. You know, I'm out there on the road all the time. I've got the best mentors in the business who are earning the highest levels of revenue in the entire business. But more importantly, I'm always studying what's working and what's not working. So one of the things I'm able to do in that process is synthesize information, synthesize what's working, synthesize and just break it down, take out sort of the mystery of it all and just say, hey, here's what people are doing. So when you look at this slide, this is what people are doing. If you're ever wondering, why am I not earning more revenue in here? It's probably because you don't have one of these up and running, automated online. Once you get that up and running and you add another one and you add another one and you add another one over a period of time, whether it's a year, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it is for you, every year for the last 6 years, I've built a new 7-figure brand. And in doing that, I usually just rolled out 1, 2, or 3 of these items you see on this page. These are really your menu of opportunity to do what you do, these 3 things. So what goes on from here? Well, let me give you 3 success principles that are very simple and straightforward, maybe even 4. First, if you're really going to have a breakthrough in your business, especially online, you've got to take it seriously. And you have to schedule block time to create. You know, block time, what does that mean? You've got to spend you got to block out a day, multiple days, multiple weeks, multiple months, where you actually create products and you go and you set up the marketing for them. It's very simple to do. Today, look, if I said this to you 10 years ago, you'd be like, Brendan, I don't have the time, money, or energy or investment opportunity. Today, it's so simple, quick, easy, and fast, and usually free to create products and programs. The tools and the resources available to us in this generation, and when I say this generation, I don't mean your age or my age. I mean those of us who are alive in this digital age today, all of us. We have so much opportunity to create and market these things with ease. The challenge is our own use of time. Our use of time is so disastrous. You know, the average American, to give you an example, spends 4 hours of television in front of the TV a day. 4 hours of television a day. Well, 4 hours of television in the adult American lifespan equates to 13 years, 24/7 in front of the boob tube. It equates to $1 million of lost income. If invested on average basis over those same 13 years, that $1 million quickly becomes $2 million. So if you're 4 hours in front of the TV, you're losing that much. But most people, you say, well, I'm not that much in front of TV. Here's my question. Are you distracted 4 hours a day? Are you distracted in a way where you're doing things you shouldn't be doing that aren't leading to results in growth in your business? Are you distracted in a way that you're doing things that don't matter? Well, if you are, 4 hours of distraction a day still adds $2 million of lost income and 13 years of your life, 24/7, gone. So you got to get serious about blocking time to create real things. Second, create what we call in online marketing, this is the magic, this is where the millions come from, OVO. OVO stands for opt-in, value, offer. Opt-in, value, offer. An opt-in means all the attention, all the work you're doing out in the market space to bring people to you doesn't matter unless you capture their contact information. An opt-in page, many of you know, is called a squeeze page or a lead capture page. That's where you're capturing their name and email. Your entire business, believe it or not, should function at a marketing level to capture names and emails. That's it. Everything else is peripheral effort. Everything functions to capture their name and their email so you can keep in contact with them and continue adding value to them, stay in communication with them, and at some point add something for sale. Opt-in, value, offer. The offer, the value is just free training, free, nothing. Just like you're experiencing right now. You weren't charged to be here. You gave your name and email at some point to Ben, and now he's just offering value to you. This value is free. There's nothing for sale. It's just value that adds relationship and adds value to your life. And then at some point, you receive an offer. An offer says, hey, if you like that, I've got this thing over here. For those who say, well, I'm not a marketer, well, a marketer today is just a trainer. If you put out good content to people, then you say, if you like that, I also have this thing over here. That's marketing today. Let me give you an example of what this looks like. This is expertsacademy.com. When you go to that page, that's called the opt-in page, like I just taught you about. All it is, it says, hey, get some free training by entering your name and your email here. It's a very simple page. Tons of tools online build these things for, almost nothing today. They're very simple to set up these pages. It's just an image in the background, some copy, and enter your name and email. When they enter their name and email and click watch video now, they're taken to the value page. This is a page in which I just train for free. It's a 30-minute page of just free training. And people love it. You can see here 11,456 people have commented on it. 36,000 people liked the video. There's nothing for sale in the video, and there's nothing for sale on the page. There's nothing even to click to on the page. It's just a page adding free value and training. I usually send out 3 content pieces just like this, 3 free videos, and then at some point I make an offer. My offer looks just like this. This is what the web page looks like. It's a very simple site that has a headline, a video, and an add to cart button. That's basically it. In the video, I just say, hey, if you like that free training I've been putting out, I've got this full program called Experts Academy, and here's what it's about, and here's how it will help you, and here's why it's a great deal and a great offer, and here's why you should buy it right now so you can get these bonuses. Click the button below. That's how you do marketing today. That's all online marketing is. This is it, guys. This is it. Look, that's an opt-in page. That's a value page. That's a sales page or an offer page. How simple is that? My entire business is set up on pages just like this, in which we now earn over 8 figures of business. It's not that hard. Opt-in, value, offer. Then, success principle number 3, release free content to add even more value and build followership. Release free content on YouTube. Release free content on your blog. Release free content on your Facebook page or your Google Plus page or other people's where you guest post on other people's blogs with the entire intention to do one thing. That free content at some point has a link beneath it that drives them back to your opt-in page. So that if they like that free video you posted on YouTube, in the description of the video, you say, go here to get more training. They click on the link, it takes them to the opt-in page, adds a lot of value to them over a course of several days, and then at some point, you make an offer. That's my entire business. 6 years in a row, built a new $1 million brand every year for 6 years straight. First year would be luck. Second year would be really lucky. Third year would be blessing. Fourth year, it's best practices and beyond. 4, believe in yourself. Invest in your education and stay on the path of mastery. Your sense of how valuable you are is dictating how much you're earning right now. And it's hard to say that to coaches because you're doing such great work helping people one-on-one, but you have to stay in that belief that what you do and who you are is adding value to people. And you got to get over the whole idea of charging money for it and charging even more money for it, because that's usually what holds people back. They say, well, I can't do this because, I don't have as much experience here or that experience there. But look, to somebody who's just starting out or somebody who's waiting for their breakthrough, the fact that you've already done it, you've already been there, or you've already had your breakthrough, or you've already done your research, why do people invest in you? They're investing in you because they believe by working with you, you can shorten their learning curve. You can shorten their learning curve towards transformation or towards achievement. But it's that belief that the learning curve can be shortened that they decide to invest in you. So you should do the same in your life. Go invest in people's education. Enroll in this course. Enroll in courses that help you learn how to get your message out there, learn how to get marketing, stay on the path to mastery. You became a high achieving coach because you stayed on the path to mastery to learn how to coach. My argument is now do that in the online space. There's a mission that you can get behind. That's to inspire and instruct other people on how to improve their lives and achieve their goals. And when you do that, my argument today has been very simple, that you can earn a high recurring revenue online by just putting products and programs out there, believing in yourself, by doing an OVO sequence, opt-in value offer, and that will build your business faster than anything you could ever do trying to get one-on-one clients. I hope that served you. I look forward to seeing you at Experts Academy someday or out there on the road at some other seminar. You'll see me in the back. I'm always learning. The expert is always the student first. I hope you learned something today, and I hope I contributed to your life in some way. Until I see you out there, please go out there every single day of your life. Live fully, love openly, and make your difference today.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for that, Brendan. Very much appreciate that. I think I recall when I was going through the attendees from the first ever WBEX that you were actually one of our attendees, Brendan. I remember that once upon a time going through. So you probably stood at the back of our room at one point, or one of your team was at least. Okay. Got some questions here. Can you, if you have any questions, we're going to have probably time for about 2 or 3 minutes or so of questions, so much time, but if you have any questions, please feel free to put that in there. I'm just going to start straight away with this question here. What are the benefits of offering free content that you have to read versus watch a video? And is there an optimum length for either one that makes it more value, or makes the value more obvious?
Great question. There is no real difference in the opt-in value offer sequence in terms of which one will get more opt-ins per se. But I think the net result of everything we've seen in the marketplace in the last 4 years has proven that video is the way to go. It will increase conversions. It increases relationship with you. And it doesn't have to be your face video. Notice what we've done here. Like Ben and I, what we just did here, this has basically been video, right? In some way or another. You're watching it on your screen. It's visual. So video can just be your PowerPoint presentation plus a voice, just like you experienced here. If we recorded this and kicked it out on YouTube, it's a video. And it was just a presentation. Video converts higher. Length, it does not matter. In terms of, a lot of people think, well, it's got to be 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 6 minutes. Here's what you need to understand. Those who don't understand the expert business, these brand marketing consultants or these guys from ad companies or things who don't understand our world, they say, well, make it 3 minutes because no one watches, beyond 2 or 3 minutes. And I like to say, where'd you get that data? And you know what they say, Ben? They say, well, it's just aggregate industry data that no one watches more of that on video than just 2 or 3 minutes. I go, yeah. Did that aggregate data include YouTube? And they're like, oh yeah, well that's the majority of the aggregate data. Yeah, well YouTube is a bunch of videos of cats humping catch. It's like obnoxious, silly, stupid things that are supposed to be joke oriented and short. We are in a different industry and a different stratosphere. We are on a completely different world. We are in the training world, the expert world, where people are coming to you to learn. In the learning world, it's longer format. And everyone says, well, no, Brendan, 2 or 3 minutes. Well, I go, yeah, really? You're really educated online, aren't you? Because how do you explain TED? Right? It's like 16, 18-minute videos do just fine there and are viewed by millions and millions of people. My videos on average are 20 to 30 minutes long in the value sequence and the sales sequence, and we're doing just fine. So don't worry about getting it super short. Add value. Train people on something. If it takes you 20, 30, 40 minutes to train them, then do 20 or 30, 40 minutes. Doesn't matter.
Very interesting indeed. I think that's going to be a bit of a paradigm shift for quite a few coaches. Um, there's a lot of people who talk about the shortness of your videos, but I think you're bang on the money there, Brendan. I think that extending the learning, especially with what we do, because it's not something you can really articulate in 2 to 3 minutes. It's quite a detailed and quite a high value process that we offer to people, and to try and say, bang bang bang, this is what we do, and to try and deliver value as well as explain how the process works is going to be a bit difficult for them. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, look, here's what we just did. We had however many people, I can see the number of people who've been on this webinar. It has not decreased in 30 minutes at all, right? And so that's what people have. If you're still here hearing me, then get over the belief that things have to be short. We just did 30 minutes. You're still here. So you shouldn't freak out about posting a 30-minute video online. If it's adding the value, people stay. The only reason people click out is if it's not adding the value. So your job is add significant value, move the needle for them, help them, offer strategies and advice, best practices they can follow and learn from. And trust me, they'll stay. Our videos are watched all day long. We have the most viewed personal development online series in history. And most of those videos are like 20, 30 minutes long. People stay.
Okay. So what is the difference between your created products and services and the products and programs from other coaches, and those things that just sit on their website not being sold? They're saying, I've heard this over and over. Is there something different?
In terms of why we think our stuff has succeeded, or?
No, in terms of okay, yeah. So what? Yeah, why is exactly right. What is different about your products and programs versus other products and programs that make them sell?
Gosh, I'll speak to the industry about that, about what we've seen working, because I think our stuff is excellent, but I don't want it to sound, for those who think it would sound come from a place of ego. What I know from the industry is that what sells is things that significantly help people move the needle in terms of shortening their learning curve. That what sells is things that are really well put together for adult learning theory, meaning it follows a sequence. It means what really sells out there is, did you synthesize the information well so that they don't have to go out and figure out a million things? Have you broken down the components of what they're trying to learn? Have you put it into what we call a framework? A framework means like the 7 habits of highly effective people. That's a framework. Framework always provide a solution to a question. The question that Stephen Covey was asking, rest his soul, was, what makes an effective person? What is it about effective people? What are they like? And he discovered they had habits. So he put the 7 habits of highly effective people. Or when you read The Charge, my book, activating the 10 human drives that make you feel alive. It's like, oh, there's only 10 human drives that explain everything that you're doing, every decision you make, why you behave the way that you do. Once you understand these human drives, you can alter the course of your destiny by activating them or deactivating them. Well, both of those are framework driven. There's 7 things here, there's 10 things here. There's 4 steps there, there's 5 steps there. They're very logical, they're sequential, and they move the person towards their desired ambition or result. And that's what people need to develop. That's what creates a product that does great. What makes it sell has everything to do with your positioning in the marketplace and how you've packaged it, if it's something that they obviously want and need in terms of your messaging. So everything comes back down to what we call, Ben, the 4 Ps: positioning, packaging, promoting, and partnering. Positioning, who you are in the market space, packaging your knowledge and your content in ways that people will buy, promoting it intelligently so that they can see the value in it, and partnering with others to continue spreading the message and the word about what you got. And so what makes a product sell is a combination of those 4 things.
Super. Do you know what? I think we will leave it on that because that's a nice way to end, to leave you thinking about what you can do with those 4 steps and those 4 Ps within your own business. And that's a nice little framework.
You still there, Ben?
I am here. Yeah. Can you not hear me? Hello. Hey guys, just very quickly, can
Oh, I
you?
couldn't hear you. Yeah, you cut out right there. I didn't hear the last couple things you probably said.
Okay, no problem. Just saying wonderful things about you. Um, okay, so what I would like to do is I'm going to call this session to an end. Before I do, though, can I ask that people jump onto our Facebook wall, facebook.com/WBECS. We'd love to hear your feedback, your comment. If you have any questions, anything at all, please jump onto that page. We have 1 week left of the early bird pricing, so be aware that in 1 week's time, we will be jumping from $297 to $697. So please, if you're planning on attending, bear that in mind. Um, Also, just one final note, have an awesome weekend. I'm going to take my surfboard out right now. I haven't been out for like 2 weeks. I've been working like a dog, like a crazy man. And you know what? I'm looking at the ocean as I look out my office right now, and I'm thinking I'm going to go and hit the waves pretty much straight away as soon as I put down the phone on this. So have a great weekend, everybody. And I will look forward to you joining us next week. Just a quick heads up, there's a guy called Howard Morgan who's going to be presenting a session next week. Now, he works very closely with Marshall Goldsmith. He's one of his business partners, and he is one of the most connected guys in the world. He hangs out with the heads of the world banks and all this kind of stuff. And he's going to be talking about how to coach people that are more intelligent than you and knowledgeable than you. And I know that's an area, if you're looking to get higher end clients, you're going to be faced with that situation often. So I highly recommend that you jump on that session. That's on Monday with Howard Morgan. Okay, thank you so much to Brendan. Really appreciate your time. You're an absolute rock star, man. I'm a big advocate and fan of yours. And I will look forward
Thanks,
to your
Ben. I'm
full
a
session
big
too.
advocate and fan of what you guys are doing. This is an awesome series, and congratulations on everything.
Thanks a lot, Brendan. All right, guys. And without further ado, I'm going to call this session to an end. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.